Welcome to Geyer Baseball Weekly. This week, Geyer plays in the final tournament prior to the start of district play. Our weekly visit with Geyer head coach Pat Watson. Welcome, Coach.
Good morning.
Coach, you're entering your second season at Geyer, 21st season overall. You were quoted last year when you took the job by our friend Adam Bodecker that this was a great fit for you and your family. What's it been like being here at Geyer High School?
Well, it's been really good. All my two sons, one of them came here senior year and fit right in last year, and I got one son that's a junior right now. There's some activities, there's some things that Geyer offers that a lot of other schools don't offer, and so he's heavy in the FFA this year with ag shows and as such, and he spends a lot of his time up here with his friends at Geyer versus down there in Flower Mound where we're from. So he's fit right in. He's a little country boy at heart. So it's been good in that sense, and it's been good in a sense of it still feels like it's a small town, but yet it's in the big metroplex area. Just the area around here, you don't have buildings or houses built up around the baseball field. You still feel like you're in the country. It's really good competition, and it's a great place to be.
Yeah, you're referring to your son, Zach Watson. We're looking out here from the press box at the FFA barn up there. You say he spends quite a bit of time up there.
Well, he actually does it inside the ag shop here. He's built a trailer all by himself this year through plans. He showed it in the Fort Worth Stock Show. He's getting ready next week to go to the Houston Stock Show and show it down there, and then the Denton County Stock Show as well. So he's did everything. He's bought the materials by himself. He's welded. He's did everything. So, it's all on him.
Well, that's awesome. And your office is right in the middle of the football bullpen here in the field house. Your first season, did any of the football coaches give you a hard time last season when you first arrived here at Geyer?
No, it was basically getting to know each other. I think they kind of knew me from Blake when my oldest son Blake came in here and transferred in. His senior year was able to play football, so it was kind of a good transition going into it. And plus, me as well, been coaching football before. It's nothing strange being inside the football office. It was kind of being right back at home and having a feeling of belonging inside of there. So it was good in that sense.
Well, I have to ask you, during the football season, especially when Blake was playing last year, did you give Coach Walsh or any of the staff did you drop any plays for him?
No, I stayed out of it. It was kind of just relaxing just to watch. I did all my time on his huddle, watching video. I still had to do some of that, but I was also busy learn everything about the kids here in baseball as well. So I was pretty swamped at that time.
The 2017 season, you and your team surprised everyone by finishing second in the district with a 10-4 record, 20-15 overall. It came down the last day, Coach, almost winning it outright. Allen edged you there, and you were very competitive in the playoffs. Geyer returned 7 players that were in your starting lineup last season. Starting pitchers J.T. Thompson, Cade Branham come back. What are you looking for from your veteran players this season?
Well, a lot of it is the leadership and the hunger, wanting to do a little bit better than what they did last year. The hardest part as a coach-wise right now that we've had to face is sometimes the hunger comes into, well, we've already been there, done it. We don't have to work as hard as we did last year. And so that's, as a coach's staff, we've got to push them that now you're the hunted instead of being, we're last year we were out hunting people. And now, everybody's got their targets on us. And so it's a little different. The expectations rise this year, and we've got to up our play a little bit as well. So that's been the hardest thing right now. But it's been good. The guys at practice come out, and then they know exactly what all we're going to do. And it's fun to be around them.
What are the team goals for your 2018 season?
Well, first of all, we divided up into 3 seasons. We got the tournament season that we have right now, and then we got the district season, and we got the playoff season. As I keep telling them, is ultimately to make it into the third round, where anything can happen in the third round. That's the toughest part of it. But our first and foremost part is we want to be district champions. Being the number 1 seed has its major advantage versus the district we're playing down below us in 5-6A, because if not. If you finish second, third, or fourth in our district, you're either going to be playing South Lake, Flower Mound, or Flower Mound Marcus, which is a battle in the first round. Not to say the other ones won't be a battle. You always want it. The hardest part is getting out of the first round.
Geyer baseball is off to a strong start with a record of 7-2-1 here in the tournament season that you just mentioned, outscoring your opponent 64-23, while your pitching staff has recorded 4 shutouts in the first 10 outings. What would you attribute the keys to your early success?
Well, early on, a lot of it is the returning starters or the returning players. You could kind of really tell in the scrimmages early on about what guys had varsity experience and what guys did not have varsity experience coming up from the JV. Just by they were frustrated when pitchers were hitting their spots and pitchers were throwing better breaking pitches than they were in JV or what they saw during the summer. And now, you're facing guys that are throwing, who know how to pitch. And so that's led us to some stuff, our early success. We have our middle infielders back, and we got some, the pitching hasn't been sharp by JT or Cade Branham yet, but we've had some good surprises along the way with some guys who pitched on JV last year who stepped up, like Trent Hunter, Robert Simmons along the way. Michael King has stepped up as well. Those are some, and Josh Crabtree. Those guys are guys who didn't pitch. Some of them pitched on JV last year. Some of them didn't pitch that much on varsity, but it's a good surprise when you have seniors step up and fill a role that was who can help us out this year.
Coach, playing at the 6A level in North Texas may be the most competitive baseball in the state, if not the country. Looking at the upcoming tournament schedule this weekend, your team faces Highland Park and Midland, which is ranked number 15 in the state on Thursday. Then you bounce back on Friday to face South Lake Carroll, ranked number 4 in the state, Capel, number 13, and then another doubleheader on Saturday with Dallas Jesuit, ranked number 12 in the state, and then you wrap it up with Rockwall, number 2 in the state, on their home turf. Are your guys excited about these matchups?
It's hard to tell with the guys. I told them all that on Monday that we're going to have a test coming up this weekend, and they just kind of like, all right, let's go prove ourselves. Let's go show everybody who Denton Geyer is. Let's get ourselves recognized as well. Yeah, it's a tough tournament. It's good leading up into district. When you look at it on paper, when the rankings came out on Monday, and I looked at it and I started highlighting, the teams that we're playing in this tournament coming up, and noticed that there's 5 of them in the top 15. I was like, oh man. But it was kind of like the same last year, and you'll be surprised. Our guys come out and compete, and as long as we throw strikes in and we make the plays and don't make errors, we'll be fine. It's going to be close games. It's going to be battles, which is good. We need that right now before district play starts on Tuesday against Plano. It's better to see real good pitching leading up into district versus pitching that is subpar. And then you roll into the first week of district and everybody's going to throw their number ones, and you don't want that number one looking like he's an all-American kid out there. You want him looking like he's average. And so that's what this last tournament is all about. If we don't wins and losses in this tournament, it doesn't really mean that much to me right now. It's a matter of how we played leading up into district. It's a matter of getting hot at the right time, peaking at the right time, and you basically want to peak during the district play and keep it rolling versus peaking early and then kind of slumping off towards the end of the year.
Your Wildcats have not had a home game all season, and you open up, as you mentioned, district play this Tuesday, March 13th, at home against Plano. Should be a big crowd on hand, Coach. Is the mindset different for the players during district play?
Yeah, there's always a little more pressure on you during the district play. I don't know about the players, but I know on the coaches wise there is, because you always want to get that first district win underneath your belt so you can relax and you don't have to worry about going 0 for district around the area. If you remember last year, we went 0-2 to start off the district, and then we got the rolling from there, and then Plano kind of dropped off. Got to remember that it's a long haul. It's 7 weeks worth of play, and y'all go into these district ones. There are certain teams that you want to split with. As long as you get a split, you'll be fine. It is our first home game. As long as we keep hitting the ball well. This past weekend, there's a lot of times that we swing the bat well and we hit the ball hard, and it doesn't really show in the stat sheet with hits or anything by the guys. But we're doing things well at the plate. I have no doubt that this team will carry over to district play. And there's just a level-headedness about them. They don't get high and they don't get too low about things, and they just come out and get after it.
Yeah, there does seem like a really good team chemistry. We've noticed just the dugout chatter and the vibe from the team this year, that they're really starting to gel well together.
Yeah, it was good last weekend. I went home and told my wife, I was telling her on Sunday, we played 6 games in less than 48 hours. And I think everybody The players were tired, the coaches were tired, and I think the parents were tired as well afterwards. You know, they called me up and said, hey, we're raining out on Thursday. That they want to guarantee everybody 5 games. Would you be willing to play 6? And I said, sure. You know, the more at bats and the more guys we get to see on the mound, you know, the better off we're going to be. And we spent a lot of time together on the bus and going and eating at places. And Friday night was a long day. Our Friday was a long day. We played 3 games, and then we all jumped on the bus and went over to watch the basketball team play. Got over there about 8:15, got back on the bus, got home here around 10:30, and got back on the bus that next morning at around 9 o'clock to go play another 3 games, and played 2 games at Keller Central, got on the bus, drove to Aledo, got over there, and they're running 2 hours behind schedule. A 5 o'clock game started at 7 p.m. And so, yeah, it was we got to be around each other, and I really think we bonded a little more and came together a little more this past weekend. You could just feel it and see it.
Yeah, I saw some pictures, I believe on Twitter, when your team rolled into that Fort Worth gymnasium. Big stadium, by the way, Fort Worth Independent School District. It looks like they rolled in there to the Blue Crew, and you had at least 30 people with the team managers and everybody, and you saw Geyer basketball bring in a victory. They fell a little short but had a great season, so great Geyer support by the Geyer baseball team. Hey, this season, something a little unique from last season, Coach. There's 3 home Saturday games, Intermix. They're non-district games, but they're intermixed during the season. You have Fossil Ridge, Lake Dallas, and Denton High School. Many of your kids on your team know these other teams from their summer ball. You looking forward to getting in the extra work?
Yeah, it's something that the UIL, about 5 years ago, the UIL with the budget cuts and everything, took away games from baseball and softball and some other things to say that they're saving revenue. So they took 3 games away from baseball. It really hurt in a part because if you play 3 tournaments, you only got in 14 regular season games, which meant all those regular season games were districts. And in some cases, some teams had 9-team districts, which meant that they lost the tournament. Now, giving us back these 3 games this past year, you know, people are going to go, how come you playing on a Saturday right in the middle of the district? Well, you know, a lot of it is to prepare for the playoffs. If you're a playoff caliber team, you get a chance to get some guys who may not have had very many at-bats going into it, a chance to get some at-bats, some pitchers, some chance to work on the mound who may have just pitched during the tournaments and had limited action during the district season, maybe pitched an inning or 2 here and there. It gives them a chance to work, because in a 3-game series, you're going to need – there's no telling what happens in 3-game series with pitching or players at bats, and it's a chance to get some other guys in to get them some work. That's the main thing, what it is right now, to what I'm using it for, is to get other guys some chances and some to be fresh, to be ready to go during district play.
Hey, the view up here in the press box, Coach, looking out at the field looks phenomenal. It kind of reminds me of Augusta National, the green grass striped up out there. New concession stand was put in last season. Upgraded audio system to the press box is coming, I believe, this week. Should be an exciting place for baseball this season. What would you tell the fans that will be coming out to the ballpark this season? What can they expect here at Geyer baseball?
Well, it's a whole different atmosphere than what it is some other places. You know, we do have the concession stand that's built up now. It's better than little tables and everything. You know, and we're basically the feel of the ballpark is awesome. You know, everything around here, you're right on top of it. You got the hills sitting in left field and center field. You got the football stadium or the the football field in right field, and we've got a lot of activities planned, a lot of different things coming up, and it's always a good crowd out here. You're going to get to see great baseball. You know, any time that you're playing in our district up here in North Texas is very tough baseball wise. There's every team has guys that are going to go off and play either D1 or D2 baseball. Just this past weekend, me and my wife on Sunday went and watched A&M and Cal play. And just watching A&M play, and, you know, just recognizing, hey, this player's played on this team, this player played on this team, this guy played on this team, and recognizing those names up there playing and going, these guys are either freshmen or sophomores. You know, and just a year ago that they were playing on a high school baseball field, the people will get to see those type of kids here who will